Thanks for watching the recorded demonstration of Infor 10 Service Management. I'd like to start out with just a 30,000-foot level view of what is in the application. I think it's important for everyone to understand that this is a complete business system that will run a service organization, a service management company, from front to back. Everything from CRM, you can see we've got CRM on the toolbar here, all the way through technician interaction on a mobile device. After the prospect becomes a customer and we've created a service order or a contract or generated a PM and dispatched a technician to go work on it, then they can work on it on a mobile device or a PDA. So it is a end-to-end business solution, all the way from pre-sales activities to executing the service in the field, or possibly in a depot repair situation. So to take it from the top and just do kind of a quick rundown, you see here on this form, I have the Service Manager Workbench up. One of the key features of the application is the built-in business intelligence capabilities. This gives us a real-time insight into the business where we can look and see how we're performing, what needs to be done, and even how we need to do it. So we have an analysis piece built into the application. You see asset management here. Service management is very adept at doing complex service with complex equipment. So a lot of our customers work on traction motors on diesel locomotives, or maybe they work on medical equipment, servicing MRIs or servicing heart-lung machines. So we can service complex equipment. A lot of our customers work on assets and want to tie the service work to the assets to look at what's the expense, is the asset under warranty, all of that stuff. So we're going to maintain the assets and we're going to do service against the assets. We have a contact center built into the application as well. And if I just kind of pull up an incidents form here, the contact center, the idea is all inbound calls into the organization would be logged. We'll log the calls, who took the calls, the priority, the status, maybe associate that with the unit, in this case a Speed Queen washer. We've got statusing in here, automatic incident escalation, knowledge base, the ability to put that knowledge base out on our SM Plus web application, so customers, partners, dealers, employees have access to the knowledge base when they're outside of the core system as well. We have a contracts module, so a lot of times service organizations are all about that recurring revenue. They want to sell you a service agreement, and that service agreement is going to have certain things associated with it. Maybe it's 2 preventative maintenance visits a year. Maybe the contract covers 100% of labor but only 50% of materials, and then we want to bill that contract maybe annually, weekly, monthly, biweekly. So we have all these different mechanisms for billing, but the concept is we're going to sell a service agreement or a contract, and then we want to be able to bill for that regularly. We still might go out and do service work under the contract. Then we can get to contract profitability analysis to see, are our contracts making us money? We can use the built-in business intelligence and the tools there to see, maybe we need to up the price of our contracts because our margin from contracts is down. So each of these KPIs, we can actually take a snapshot of them nightly or weekly, and we can see how we're trending. So we set our goals, we set our alerts, and then we look and see, are we achieving the objectives we set out for the organization? I talked briefly about CRM, but that's really a Salesforce automation tool built into the application. A lot of our customers don't have the time to integrate to third-party CRM system or want to buy one, so they want to have a CRM system built into the application. It's pretty straightforward, pretty basic, but it gets the job done for most of our customers. Under customers, you'll see accounts receivable, customer setup, customer service workbench. So, of course, the application has full financials built into it. Accounts receivable module allows you to do dunning letters, allows you to do statements, allows you to do invoicing, allows them to be emailed or faxed or printed. So very capable finance system. If we look under the finance area, you see amortization control and general ledger. So a full-on general ledger module in here. You can build your own financial statements, queries. We're going to do bank reconciliations. We're going to have journals. We're going to post them to the general ledger. We're going to do detailed costing. We're going to have multi-currency. We have multi-site, multi-currency capabilities. We can do multi-company. We can consolidate ledgers. So we have a very capable general ledger finance system. You see amortization control here. A lot of times that's used for recognizing revenue on contracts evenly over a period of time. As far as human resources go, we've got a payroll interface here where we interface to Abro, or we can just dump a flat file out to Paychex or ADP or something like that. We do have salespersons. We're going to keep track of our salespeople and allow them to get commissions on the sale of service orders or a service contract. And then our partners are all the people that are going to do the work. Partners are technicians. A lot of our customers have third-party service providers. Maybe they cover direct with their employees, maybe the Southeast and Florida, doing HVAC equipment on rooftop buildings for, big box stores. And then in the Midwest, they subcontract to third parties. So we call them a partner. They can go out and do the work. I'll show you a web interface where they can come in through a portal and see their work orders and report time and materials through a web interface where we don't have to load any software on any machines or any clients or any PDAs for our partners. Under inventory, we have a full-on perpetual real-time inventory system built into the application. We'll be able to see items and set cost levels by items, do cycle counts. New for the 410 release is an inspection capability, so we have what we call configurable inspections in 410. So we can say, when I go out and service a generator, here are the tasks that I need to perform. I need to take the readings. I need to check the oil. I need to do this, and then maybe I need to go out the next day or the next visit, even later in that afternoon, and I need to service or inspect a backup power generation system. Maybe it's an uninterruptible power supply with battery strings, and I need to take voltage readings and things like that. So we've put a configurable inspections capability into the application. As far as costing goes, we do specific costing, lot and serial track, and actual cost down to the serial number level. So we do serial number costing in the system as well. Orders, pretty straightforward. We have service orders, which is kind of where the rubber meets the road with this system, and then also sales orders in case we just want to sell a part. So we have a lot of customers that do service and distribution, or service and sales, or sales and service. So just to keep with the sales order concept, we can just click on a sales order, bring up a sales order, and we can quickly, enter a sales order into the system. So if I wanted to do that, I just bring up the sales order form, boom, boom, enter the sales order, pick, pack, ship it, pay with a credit card. Kind of wrapping up, kind of the high-level overview here. We have on the purchasing side, some international capabilities with GRNs, purchase orders, purchase order requisitions, also a request for quote, so we can go out and get a bid from our vendors on products or services and find out what that's going to cost us. We record those in the system and so forth. Scheduling is a very important piece in any service organization. If we look at manufacturing, which a lot of people are familiar with, we're really trying to optimize the resources on the shop floor, increase the throughput, line up the jobs so that we have the most utilization of our manufacturing facility. When it comes to a service organization, our resources are our field personnel or possibly the personnel and the resources in a depot repair setting as well. But if we just stick with the field personnel, we might want to know where these guys are by GPS location. We might have an emergency call come in, and we want to schedule the closest technician. So scheduling is very important in the application. Just a little setup here. So we have some document management built in with what's known as FastView. We can do document attachments anywhere throughout the system, shipping interface, tax interface, and then just some basic vendor setup and the accounts payable module out here. So what you see at the 30,000 foot level, just running down through the Master Explorer, is you have a complete set of modules or tools for all aspects of the service organization to run the business from front to back. All right, so let's go ahead and get into a couple of screens here and just kind of show you some things here. What I have up is the Service Manager Workbench. And really the story we tell here is a lot of the customers, a lot of the users of the application aren't going to navigate with that Explorer. I just showed you that so you can see all what was in the application quickly. They might pop up a screen like this, their Service Manager Workbench. So on their Service Manager Workbench, I can see how many open service orders do I have, what's the how many service orders awaiting parts, and I can drill into all these as well. So a quick drill down into the service orders that are open. I can see I've got 300 and some service orders. This throws us into what we call a data view. We can group these any way we want by priority code and then by SRO type. Below that, we can switch the order. We can go ahead and send this to Excel or to a PDF file. So this drill down capability exists on the KPIs off the workbenches and can also be run from every single screen in the application. So if I just wanted to slice and dice my customers or my items or my service orders or my purchase order lines, we can do that same type of thing throughout the entire application. So getting back to the workbench, the concept really is each area of the organization is going to have their own workbench with their own KPIs. These can be changed with just a right click of the number. So I can do a right click and then I could change the number to, an AR number or a service number. If I want to look at, how many service orders opened or opened versus closed, or how many service orders do I have awaiting parts, just a right click of that will, change the number. And then you could double click, drill down into it. Okay, so the workbench has the key performance indicators on top. Maybe we start these out at the highest level in the organization, then each group within the organization has the KPIs that they're responsible for. I can see at a glance, red is bad, green is good, yellow is somewhere in between. So I might want to focus on my elapsed time to repair or my mean time to repair. And I think it is worth noting that if you take a look at all of these built-in service KPIs. So what we tell the prospects, what we try to do, what our customers are trying to use the software to do is look at these KPIs that we have built that are really used for service companies that are trying to become best in class. Put those up on the top of the workbench and start trying to run their business more efficiently. Do things like reduce the number of callbacks. How many times I had to roll a truck twice to a prospect because maybe I didn't have the parts on hand or they didn't know enough about the equipment that they were servicing while they were out there. So there's that's kind of the KPIs out there. This part in the middle of a workbench just kind of shows KPIs associated with, in this case, individual service orders. So I had a machine down condition here. I can see I got 57.61% margin, and my utilization on that service order was 100%. You see the hover over there kind of explains it to you. So down at the bottom we have maybe actual transactions for this highlighted service order. So I can take a look at a data view. Down at the bottom, maybe I'm looking at transaction analysis or invoice history or recent resolutions, prior SROs, and then we can kind of just tree this out and see, all right, in this case here, we had the description of a machine down for this particular customer. It was calculated time and material. We're out there working on an auto bag machine. What did we do? We're going to look at the task. We just did basic service and scrolling down a little bit further, I can see actual transactions and the parts that were used on the service order. So we try to consolidate a lot of information together all on a workbench so that customers don't have to go to 100 different screens to see how to do their job. And as it relates to how do I do my job, what we do provide is we provide a lot of best-in-practice business processes for using the service management application. So if I wanted to perform billing, for example, how do I perform billing? Well, I can click on the Perform Billing button, and that brings me up a roadmap that says, okay, so how do I perform billing? Well, the first thing you need to do is prepare your service orders for billing. So to prepare your service orders for billing, we kind of drive you to this screen here, to the Service Order Billing Console. Again, I've got KPIs throughout the system. I can drop them on any form I want. These two down here, margin utilization on these service orders. So maybe I'm rolling down and kind of doing my billing by exception here. Green is good. As I'm looking at all these, and maybe I get to some little further down where maybe I'm hitting some red. 0% utilization, or margin's not where it needs to be here. This one, 8.94% margin. We could right-click, drill down into the details to find out what happened with that service order. So we can close the billing console and run the service order to be invoice report. How do we do that? You just click on the button. That takes you to your invoicing screen where we go ahead and print our invoices off. So if you take a look, now these, all the forms in the application, we can put them in a design mode. We can drag and drop, change the process on these process forms, as well as any other form in the application. So if I wanted to stretch this grid or move this around or do different things, we can do that. So that's really the concept of a workbench. So we try to get across to the prospects, and the customers use this heavily to see how they're doing. what they need to be doing, and then also to follow the navigation pane over here to see how to do certain things. Where the rubber meets the road a lot of times in the service organization is tracking these assets and servicing these assets. So if I just highlight one here in the grid, I can see, all right, well, here's an asset, here's everything about it, the model number, this is a bag machine that's owned by Shell. I've got my total asset expense KPI over here, 6,641. I can see the customer that owns it, all of the service history associated with it, all the incidents, the owner history, and all of that. We also get down to the configuration level with the equipment that we service, where we can see all the components that make up the configuration of the asset that we need to go out and service. And we can show this on the mobile device as well. So what I can see here by just saying, show me what was added and removed, was as of today, the components on this piece of equipment, on this bag machine, are in black. I've got a drive belt, I've got a combo drive, I've got a 7,200 RPM hard drive and so forth. But these components here in red have been removed from this system. So originally installed 9/6/2006, removed 10/6/2006 because of a recall. Same thing with the sensor that was removed later in 2008. This is the type of information that's valuable for a technician in the field, so when they come out to service the equipment, they can see, well, what has changed on this piece of equipment over its 10 years that it's been in service. It might have different belts, different pulleys, different drive systems. It might have been retrofitted to 2012 standards. So when I go out to service it, we want to arm the technicians with the right amount of information so that they can get the job done the first time. So units and the unit configuration and actually the servicing of the assets are very important in our system. I'll bring up the scheduling board here just to kind of run through some of the scheduling features real quick. You can see I can look at the schedule work in different buckets, if you will. So partner days, time view, maybe a month view. So I can just look out at the month of May, and I can see, well, my scheduled capacity, 6,240 hours. I've used 2,059, total used capacity hours, so I still have quite a bit of capacity available in May. But if I look at the week of the 24th, that week looks pretty busy. So maybe I want to drill into like a partner day view and highlight the week of the 24th on the calendar, and I can see overall I'm good. I still have some available capacity, but if I look at the 24th, I'm in trouble. I've got negative 77 hours worth of capacity on the 24th. The 25th, I'm better. I have 143 available, so maybe what I need to do is just highlight those 2 days and then start to move some appointments around. So maybe I want to move this service order to this date or reassign this one to this technician. You can see that the capacity is changing as we go throughout here. Down at the bottom of the form, I have all of the service orders that need to be scheduled. So when service work comes in, either through the web or maybe through Microsoft Outlook, through our add-in that we have through Outlook, to create a service order, either way, maybe it's a preventative maintenance service order. All these service orders that need to be scheduled, they're down at the bottom, and my concept is we just drag them and drop them out here onto the board. If I look at the whole week here, we do integrate, with map points. So let me grab that week again. I can start to right-click out here and maybe go to map point and say, show me where all my current partner locations are. So I can do that, and based on the last synchronization of our untethered mobile system, we'll grab the GPS coordinates of where these guys are, and now I can see Jeff Wallace is down here in Anderson, or near Anderson, Indiana, kind of between Anderson and Danville. So if I had an emergency call come in, I could go ahead and see where my technicians are. I can actually take the appointments down here at the bottom, and I can dump those to map point. Maybe a dispatcher might have a dual screen system where they got the map point up on the left-hand side and they've got the schedule board on the right. Some of our customers even will project that on the wall so that they can see what's going on during the course of the day. A lot of people like to work from the schedule board, so we added some things here, just quick create a service order, quick create an incident, so that I can do my job from the schedule board, much like some people might choose to do their job from the service manager workbench. We looked at the service order billing process flow. We looked at the SRO billing console. I think you guys kind of get the point as to, it's got rich, capable service functionality throughout here. I might take a call try to troubleshoot the call in our call center with an incident using some of the tools we have available to do that. If I can't resolve the issue, then I could create a service order, dispatch that to a technician, and then they can pull that up on their mobile device. So let's take a quick look at the mobile application. If we look at the mobile application, not the mobile manager, but let's look at the mobile application itself. What the technician might see, if they're on a laptop, they could run a laptop version of this, is they might see a My Work screen. They could make it big, and they could see the service orders to which they've been assigned. So here are all the service orders that have been assigned to a particular technician, in this case, Barney. And what we allow him to do is, in case of this valve failure out here, he can just go ahead and clock on or clock off of the service order. So he's now clocked on to the service order. He could go ahead and double-click on it if he wanted, and he could get more details about the service order. So he could see the job notes. I got to do some method 2 remonitoring, monitor tag number, this or that. So these are the job notes associated with it, some of the customer information, customer directions, and then the lines and operations tell me, well, what is it that I'm working on? I'm working on this machine. Here was the unit number. In this case, it's blank. You don't have to have one. And then my operations or tasks that I need to perform. So this one here, it says parts orders. Maybe that's not the greatest one here to take a look at, but if I have a broken shaft, something like that. So here's a broken shaft. We look at the status of this. I'm working on a Fast Track 300 series plant. That's the specific serial model number of the thing I'm working on, and here's what I need to do. I need to service it, change the oil, finish and install new bearings. I need to grease it. And then we have statuses of all these. So the technician in the fields can update the status of this, and this can change the color coding on the dispatch board. So the concept really here is I could leave a pro forma invoice. I can also get my inspections here. So if I need to take specific readings with specific equipment, I can do that here. Capture the customer signature, maybe some credit card information, and sync that back into the service management, what we'll call the back office application there. So that's just a quick look at the mobile capabilities on the laptop. I think it's important to note that that whole environment is configurable. So what I can do is I can say open up a form on the either the laptop or the PDA version. So maybe the laptop version, and if they didn't want that like My Work screen looking like it looks, they could open that up, and here's the forms designer. So similar to some of the other applications that Infor has, we've got a mobile forms designer, just like we've got a forms designer for the back office, and this forms designer is very capable. So instead of providing a menu system for a capable technician that is working on high-tech equipment, maybe you have more of a wrench turner or a maintenance guy, and it needs to be simpler for him. We can build an environment and deploy it so that it's actually a wizard-based environment that steps him through the process that he needs to do while he's out there at the customer site. So a very capable, configurable environment for the technicians. And then that's deployed, down to the mobile devices, either a laptop or it could be a PDA. So if we take a look here, on the PDA, similar thing. I can go to the My Work screen, take a look at. I just did the log out. Let me go ahead and pull that back up. But we could take a look at the My Work screen, and we're going to basically see a miniaturized version on the PDA here of what we were seeing on the laptop there. So of course you've got login credentials, and based on that, you're going to see certain things. It's important also in our 410 release where we've changed this to be a centralized or global administration. So rather than administering on the mobile device, everything that needs to get done, we now do that kind of at a higher level, and then just push that down to all of the mobile devices there. So either way here, I just wanted to show you guys that we do run on a PDA as well as a laptop. I suppose that's well, there we go. Now we're back and working. So I could go back into the My Work screen. Just don't click the log off button there. So again, untethered synchronized, which is important for a lot of our customers. We've got customers that work on oil field equipment. Everything's based on a longitude, latitude, GPS location. There's no road there. There's no internet service there. So they want to sync before they leave their hotel or their home, and they want to grab all the work orders and the related information associated to those work orders and bring that with them, record all that information in an offline mode, and then synchronize that later. Okay, let's take a quick look here at Outlook and just show that, hey, we've got a service management ad in here. So I can take an email, maybe, hey, here's a generator that won't start. Please call me. I might be able to get it going. So I've got an email in my inbox. I could say, all right, go ahead and create a new incident for this. So I could create a new incident for this. It pops up Service Management 10, and I could see, okay, I got a new incident. It parsed out the email, brought a bunch of information in. The generator won't start. I can just say, okay, here, and now I've got a new incident number 228 inside of the application. So I have the ability to work back and forth between Outlook. I can actually even send information out of the service management application from within Outlook. We've got a fast mail application, so I could say, hey, the incident was resolved. It's going to say, okay, well, which incident are you talking about? I'm talking about this one here that the axle was broken. It'll pull all the information in. Thanks for logging incident, whatever, and your pre-formatted information in there. So some nice Outlook integration as well. I think the last thing I'll show you is taking a look at the web portal, where you can see kind of really designed for use for our dealers, where we didn't want to have to load any software on a PDA or a laptop, but we still want to assign via the dispatch board, hey, here's your work, go out and do it. And then we want a third-party service provider to come out and say, okay, for this valve failure, I can go ahead and click on the service order, hyperlink, one click to that, and I've been logged in too much time, so I've timed off, so we'll just log on again. So I can go ahead and hyperlink and click on that, and then I can go ahead down and I can see, okay, and I've kind of got it, large out here, but you can see here are the details for the service order APS 001, material transactions that have already been done. I can add material, add labor, add miscellaneous transactions out here through the web. We also allow the dealers to enter a new incident to register a unit. A lot of times we have customers that sell through an OEM, they sell to a dealer, and then the dealer sells it to an end user. So kind of to replace that warranty registration card you mail in for your crock pot or whatever, web-based unit registration capability out there. So you could do that, put in the serial number, and so forth, and then register it. So I hope that helps you guys with, kind of a quick understanding some of the capabilities of the Infor 10 service management business product. Again, to sum it up, it's an end-to-end business solution for a company that does service. They don't do manufacturing, but they might do assembly work. A lot of our customers, could do single-level kitting or assembly of a piece of equipment. Maybe they buy it from a parent company, receive it in, take some parts off, put some parts on, ship it out to the field, offer a contract on it or a service agreement, and then they do, preventative maintenance or break and fix type work on it. So we can do assembly on a service order. We've added in the 410 release what we call AIA billing for construction. A service order can also be run kind of like a project with phases where we can bill individually for the project out there or the phases on the service order. So the service order is a very flexible, capable order type that really is kind of like a customer order and a shop order or a job order all in one. So we can do light project work, we can do assembly work, we can do field service, we can also do depot repair and refurbish with a service order, different service order types, different templates, different structures of the service order to do all those types of things in a lot of different industries, as you see here. So again, thanks for watching today. I know that's a lot of talk real quick, but if you have any questions, let Angie or I know. Thank you.